What's up YouTube and welcome to KangBrosTV. Liverpool 0, Porto 0. For me, job done. It was a controlled performance, clean sheet again, into the next round. Bring on Madrid, bring on Barca, bring who you want. I think we're ready.
This is chill.
No. I mean, we're into the next round. That's the main thing for me. I mean, what's your take on the game? I mean, are you happy with the game? Happy with the performance?
Not really. I won't lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say, it's this, it was that. Look, it was just, it felt like a bit of a training routine. I think for Porto's perspective, it was a bit like, look, I think they've got a real big game on the weekend that they've got to win.
Right.
And then if they don't win it, it's like it throws the league up in the air for them. If they win it, they become champions or something like that. So I think their mind was elsewhere. I think realistically to come to Liverpool and get 6 goals away from home and then not expect to get picked off at least once, I think for those guys it's like, I just can't see what's happening. So it wasn't a great game. It felt like a bit of a training game, but job done. On to the next one, really.
Because I mean, there was. I mean, I know there's idiots on Twitter as there is, but there are people complaining. I mean, I don't know why you would be complaining because they're saying there was complaints about the atmosphere. They're saying that even some in the league games when it gets a bit flat, like today, obviously it was a bit of a nothing game, but the atmosphere was dead. And they were saying that Porto fans were out singing our fans. Is that something to be worried about? Or I mean, I don't really blame the fans because it was almost, even when we were watching the game, it's almost just sit back, smoking a cigar and actually having a little chit chat watching the game for the first time in the Liverpool game.
I think fans who want. Look, end of the day, you got to take it for what it is. Put it in the context of the game. It was a job was done in Porto. It was a great performance out there. Take it. It was a. Come on, Liverpool fans know how many times do we have stress-free games? It's very rarely, so just enjoy it.
It felt so good.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's fine, and it's reminiscent of the old days, wasn't it?
See, that's what I was going to mention. This for the first time for a long time. Do you know what it reminded me of? It was the Rafa days. When you went to a Champions League game, you sat back. You knew the other team wasn't really going to score because Rafa's team was set up so nicely that Liverpool might pick the goal and go into the next round. It actually felt like those days again, didn't it?
Yeah, but like I said, not going to dwell on it and try and cover up something. It was like I said, it felt like a training game, training routine, bit of a pre-season feel to it. It wasn't a million miles an hour. They were pretty happy to take their point, do their draw, whatever, and move on to the next one. They got bigger fish to fry. We've got a big game Saturday, so you just got to take it for what it was tonight and just move on to the next one. You
mentioned that, right? Everyone knows the big game coming up on Saturday. So for me, the question I had and the thing I was worried about was the team selection. Now, I trust Klopp with everything. Literally, all his judgment calls, his signings, everything. He can sign anybody he wants. He can sign Igor Bishkan back right back now. If he thinks it's the right decision, I back Klopp. But the thing is, for me, what was your take on the selection? Because I don't get why are people like Solanke? What are we doing with people like Woodburn? If we are not in the Carling Cup, we're not in the FA Cup. So when are these guys actually going to get run out?
It's actually Carabao Cup for sponsorship purposes. Do you know what? I think Woodburn was ill, and I think there was 2 players that were Wijnaldum and Woodburn were ill. I think so they weren't well.
The shits, yeah.
But yeah, so what the chef's cooking up at Liverpool, they've all seemed to have something. But
you get my point, right?
If you're Solanke, or even Ings, listen, I don't see why you'd start with Bobby.
No, I just don't get it.
It's a big game. And the one thing that really gets me, I was baffled to the next degree, was why would you bring Salah on? What have you got to gain from it? If they were 3-0 up, if they had scored 3 goals, I'd have been like, you know what, we need something. Or if it's 2-0 up, we need to get Salah on, get a goal, put this game to bed. Even if that's the only time. Put him on. No, but even that's the only time I'd think maybe you should put him on. What would you think if you're someone else on that bench? You're thinking to yourself, finally I'm going to get a game. We're 5-0 up on aggregate. There's nothing to lose in this game now, and then he brings Salah on. What are you thinking on the bench? You're probably thinking, he don't rate me. He does not rate me. That's what I'd be thinking. And I just think it doesn't make sense. Why would you take that risk? But that's my personal...
Yeah, because we both, as soon as we saw Salah come on, we both looked at each other like that. We couldn't believe it. Why? Why even take the risk? You've got the game on Saturday. The game's done. We don't really need to go. I think he did want to win the game. That's obviously what the reason was. But back to my question is, what are we doing with people like Solanke? If we were not giving him a game, why are we not pushing him out on loan and to play some football? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I don't. The thing is, I don't want to. I know he's lately come out in the press saying that he felt he's apologised because he felt that he rushed Lallana back earlier this season, and then he came back and got injured. And I think he's very reluctant to do that with Kleiny, but it would have been good to see Kleiny get 5-10 minutes in it, if possible. I don't know what his fitness levels are, but if he's back to and he's played a game for the under-23s, maybe a chance to get him some minutes. Maybe it's a chance to have a look at Joe Gamers at centre back. If he's a centre half and he's played for England at centre half or whatever, then maybe it's a chance to have a look at him. I thought I'll put it out there. I felt that the defence it just didn't feel the same. It felt back to the nervy days without Van Dijk in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that was going to be my next question, was that who do you think now, after seeing today's performance, who do you think is our best four? I mean, did Gomez show anything today, or did Moreno show you anything today that think, okay, we should be actually putting these guys in instead? Or do you think who's our best four?
It goes back to Michael, he makes a lot of points, but it was good to see Gomez willing to get on the overlap and get across in the box today. So it was nice to see that. But if you want my best back four, and especially for Man United, and we know Lovren loves the battle, loves to go and get up and smash someone. So playing against Lukaku is probably going to suit him. So my starting back four would be Arnie right back. Centre halves would be VVD, Lovren, and I'd go Robbo left back. But
okay, so that's for the United game. So we'll get onto that. But from what you saw today, in not just for the United game, but as overall, who do you think at the moment, did Gomez or Moreno do anything for you to think that to change it?
No, I think that it shows that there's good competition for places.
Yeah,
but I just think that it's what we've got at the moment looks good for me. Anything I'd say is from we talked about it earlier is the midfield. I thought Milner was very, very good today. I thought he was very good today. Again, I've said that a few times. I thought he was very, very good today. I thought Emre Can didn't really have to do much today. I thought it was a pretty relaxed game, and I thought Hendo done quite well. But again, pretty relaxed game. So yeah.
So who would you push for? Who would you push for man of the match for you today? I didn't see any standout performances where I thought this guy is a definite man of the match. But I think I'll probably push it over to Hendo. I think he did enough for me today. In the middle, some of the passes he did, there was one that through ball. I think it was just one touch pass there, and boom, straight through to. I think it was Bobby went straight through. So I'll probably give it to Hendo.
I was Millie for me, just because of his tenacity, he getting into tackles and just his work rate. Everyone seems to forget that he's a guy that's supposed to be going into the twilight of his career now, to the back end of the last few years. The guy looks like he's getting younger. Like he's running around, and he says he doesn't want to be looked at any differently or as an older player. He wants to get involved, and he's still flying into tackles. So for me, it was just refreshing to see him do that. And he was man of the match. But again, you could give it to anybody today because it was just a nothing game. Yeah. You could turn around and give it to Karius if you really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? But it was just one of those games, so it is what it is.
So alright, so we're with the first team, the first British team, first English team, how you want to call it, into the next round. So who would you want to avoid? I know you're going to say I don't really care. Like I'm the same as you, I guess, in that sense that bring on anyone.
Yeah.
But is there any team that you think that probably would be a slightly more difficult one than someone else?
Man United is the only team I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to play Man United in the Champions League.
Is that for the reason why I think, or
just because I just think that they're going to play? There's the negativity in their tactics.
Exactly what I think.
But that's no discredit to Man United. And I've said this. Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan. Always have been. Liverpool's my team. But I'm also a football fan. And as a football fan, and I know Man United fans probably don't agree with me on this, but Man United are getting results. When you get Mourinho into your team, you know what you're getting. You're not going to get flash football, expansive football. What you're going to get is a team that is set up well, organised, and efficient. And Chelsea's efficient, Real Madrid are efficient. No one likes the way they play, but Man United are an efficient side. And for me, the way Liverpool play over two legs probably plays into Mourinho's hands a little bit, I think. But other than that, equally, I'd say I wouldn't mind anybody, because if it's a Champions League, it's the last 8. You are against the best teams, the creme de la creme across Europe. There's no point trying to duck and dive and say, I want to avoid them. You got to take them. You got to play the best teams now. So whoever you get, I'm happy and just bring it on. And if Liverpool get beat, they could go up against Barcelona and have a shootout, and they could get beat 6-0 at the Nou Camp. You never know, yeah. But
I mean, what I was going to say to your argument with the Man United thing, I agree that Man United or Mourinho's teams were efficient, but I personally don't believe this team is efficient anymore. I've watched them play quite a lot this season, and especially in the last few games, they're not. I don't think they're efficient. When you saw the Chelsea teams, they had a flow about them. You knew what they were doing. You know what you're going to expect them. With these guys, their performances against Newcastle and especially Palace, it was all over the place. Palace, yeah, I get that, but Palace let them come back in the game, and people like Pogba, I don't actually know what he's doing. I don't know what his role is. So I think I don't know if efficient is the right word anymore. I mean, he grinds out the results,
and that's efficiency.
Is it? Do you know what the point I'm trying to make with the Chelsea team? When he was leading the Chelsea team, you knew what the efficiency was you could get. They were going to be battling. They were going to be the tackles have been coming in. You knew what kind of setup there was going to be. At the moment, I don't see that.
Is that not more? Is that not more of an opposition manager's nightmare? You don't know what you're up against.
Yeah.
Slight unpredictability. They've got goals in all different areas of the pitch. I mean, Matic scored his first goal of the season yesterday. They got goals all over the pitch. So I think, as I said, it's a matter of opinion. For me, I don't want to play Man United over two legs. I think the way Mourinho sets up, it is negative, it is boring, and they've got a world class goalkeeper. That's the team I'd want to avoid. You asked me the question, that would be for me. Anybody for you?
I would agree. I think United is because it's just because of negativity. And I think over two legs, I don't think United want to face us either. But I think the way he would set up, he will make it so frustrating for us that it could be a possible banana skin. And
what
for
I
us.
will say is, just on a side point, I watched Madrid tonight. I watched PSG tonight. They don't worry me. Tottenham would go and beat PSG. They would give Madrid a very, very good game. They've proved that they can beat them, right? Yeah. Man City are better than both of them teams. Put it out there. Manchester United would beat PSG. I could comfortably say that. Man United will give Madrid a very good game. Chelsea at the moment, I think they're a little bit vulnerable. I just think they're one of those sides. But if I was Chelsea, I'd still be like. They drew 1-0 against Barcelona. So there is something there with Chelsea as well. But English teams at the moment are in a position where I don't think they should fear anybody because I've seen them teams. Liverpool can have a go at any of them teams, and Man City free scoring, free flowing. So I think the British teams are in a good place, and it will be very, very good to see how they progress. And I do think that there will be at least one British team in their final Champions League.
I totally agree. But do you think Tottenham are going to get through Juventus?
I do. Yeah, I'm very confident about that. As much as I'd love Juventus to get through, because I don't really like Tottenham, but I think they will. I'm confident they will get through.
I'm going to go Juventus, but I do believe, I think Juventus will do it. Okay. But anyway, so Saturday's our big game. Who would your lineup be?
Karius.
Yeah, I agree.
Arnie, as I said to you earlier, Arnie, Robbo, VVD, Lovren.
Yeah, I wouldn't change that. I think you're right with the Lovren. Lovren has had Lukaku in his back pocket for a number of games and a number of years.
Well, it's a back pocket, but I think he just loves a battle and he just seems to get in the better of him. What's a back pocket?
I would say the back pocket. I've never seen Lukaku ever, do anything against Lovren.
I wouldn't say that. You're playing with destiny here. He's going to score a hat trick now. But whatever.
Well, if he does, he does. But I'm saying
I just think
going to the games, he's gone.
I think for the personnel wise, he'd be the guy to go. Front three picks itself. Yeah. The only thing is the midfield. And now I mentioned to you earlier, what I'd like him to play would be Wijnaldum, Ox, and Milner. The reason I'd go Wijnaldum over Hendo, and I don't, as I said, Chan for me. Everyone knows my opinions and verdicts on Chan. I think he's a good, okay to good player.
But what do you think might need his physicality for this game? If they put people like Matic and Pogba down the middle, do you think?
But the reason I'd put Wijnaldum is because he has got better agility than Henderson. Henderson's great at pressing, and he will go flying out at pressing. But once you drop a shoulder and you're away from him, you're out. Whereas Wijnaldum's got that, he's got a bit more agility, he's a bit lighter on his feet, lower centre of gravity, he's harder to get past, he's a bit more of a problem, gets a foot in. So I think at Man United, where you've got to expect that they're going to have spells of possession, you need someone who's going to be able to rat. And I think he can rat. James Milner's proved that he can rat and he can control the tempo of the game. And Ox has got that penetrative ability, but he's also someone that's got that engine and motor. Emre Can, I think he's a bit leggy, he's a bit slower. So I wouldn't have him in there for that reason. And again, Henderson, I don't think he's got the agility. But and that's my opinion. That would be the team I'd play. But I do think for his midfield, he'll go Chan, Henderson, and Ox. I think that's what he will go with. But you asked me my opinion. What about yourself?
I would go for that. I would go for Chan, Henderson, and Ox. And I think Milner, even though he's playing fantastic for us, I would love him to come on when we need him to control the game for us. If we're in a lead where we need to... Because I think it's going to be a very tight game. I don't think it's going to be one-sided. I'd love it to be one-sided, but I would love...
us.
To us. But I would love Milner to come on in this game and then just control things and just use some of his experience. And that's why I would want to save him. Because if we have him playing at the start, then I would think, who do we want to bring on to actually have that composure? And I think Milner, for me, is the best person to bring on at that stage in the game because I think it will be tight. So I would go for that. The other one is Lallana. Is there no space for him then?
No, and to be honest, I'm going to be controversial here, but I think these injuries are catching up with him. And I'm hoping it's just sharpness or match fitness, but we like to play with a lot of pace, and I don't think he's got that pace at the moment. I think he's got good dribbling ability, he's got good feet, but that turn of pace over 5 yards, whereas Mane, Bobby, and obviously Salah have got that turn of pace over 5 yards. He doesn't be able to get away from people over 5 yards, but he is good at ratting. So I don't know. He played in the front three today. I don't think he was quite,
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to disagree with that. I think for me, Lallana he's one of our best players when he's on it, but I mean on it when he's actually it's full fitness. When you say about turning in and running at people, obviously he doesn't have that ability, but his touches are so like perfect sometimes that he leaves people standing. And I think for me, and like you
where
said,
did he get in?
Yeah, that's the problem,
That's
right?
What I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
that's the problem.
That's what annoys me. A lot of people say this, and it really pisses me off. Oh, he's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah, but where does he get in? Who would you drop for him? That's my question. You're not going to drop the front three for him because he doesn't offer you that what they have, which is pace. He's not going to get into midfield because he's too slow. That's my point. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's not. He's a terrific player. He's very good at pressing. He's got very good feet. But it's like we've argued about this before as well about other players that you'd have in our midfield, and I wouldn't because I don't think they would fit in that dynamic that you're trying to play.
Yeah.
So if you're going to buy Naby Keita, right? You've got Oxlade-Chamberlain. Let's just say Emre Can's going to go back to his parent club. Who else who is going to play in midfield? Is Lallana going to be the one that's going to have those legs and energy and engine?
Yes, he is, because you've seen, like you said, like when it comes to ratting, he's one of the best at doing it. So that is high energy to do that, right? And I think there's not a lot of people, apart from Bob, who does it so clever.
So who's he getting ahead of?
No, I get the point, but I'm saying is that you can't just use this. You need a squad, right? And for me, there's going to be games where he's going to be the person you're going to turn to. That's what I think. Like, because some games where you might need Ox, but some games you might need a bit of quality. You can't. Lallana's touches are way better than Ox's, but Ox's turn of pace is obviously better than Lallana's.
What suits the way we play?
Yeah, I know what the point you're making.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say.
That's a good question to the viewers actually, because that's a great point. Even though I think yourself and a lot of people, we love Lallana, but from where we're playing at the moment, and we've got Naby coming, where does Lallana actually fit now? And should that be a worry for Lallana? Because I think you touched on that earlier about where does his future lie? Because even though he's a great player, where does he actually fit now?
And the thing is, someone like a Chelsea would probably would make use of someone like Lallana because they play. It's a controlled pace that they play, and it's a gradual. Man United, they've got quite a few types to play. Like another Mata, good feet, but he hasn't got that turn of pace. Where do you see? For me, I'd say if there's a big enough bid or a significant bid for him, I'd be open to listening to it because there's lots of talk about us being linked with Lamar.
Yeah.
So if you do get them, and listen, we get linked with everybody. Let's not make the twisted. But if we get Lamar, Naby Keita, Alisson that we're linked with, I mean, this is just obviously dream world. But if you get them, then you're looking around thinking, hold on a minute. Well, any of the front three, if Lamar comes in, he goes into one of those front three positions, or he can play midfield and Naby. So this is what I'm saying. I'm just thinking about forward thinking. If we want to have a team that's dynamic, quick, aggressive. He's got the aggression, he's got the feet, but that's, as I said, it's another topic of conversation. But there's a few players in that Liverpool squad at the moment that I'll be looking at and saying, right, look at your other options. Danny Ings, weigh up your options. Lallana, potentially you've got to be open to offers, maybe. And as much as it hurts me to say it, if Kleiny comes back in and doesn't hit the ground running, when Arnie and Gomez have been playing regularly, you almost start looking at it and thinking, well, Kleiny, is he past it? Is he going to get back to those levels? Is it? I mean, he's late 20s now.
But then you got to think, Klavan will probably be going at the end of the season, and Gomez, we really need to start playing down the middle where his actual position is. So I think Gomez you need two players per position. So I think Arnie and Klein.
But then, would you not think that if there's another opportunity to buy another centre half,
Alderweireld.
there's, we're linked with Alderweireld. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, that's digressing.
So yeah, I mean, let us know your lineup for United game if you agree. I mean, I think a lot of the Liverpool fans will probably agree with the front three and the back four. Let us know what your midfield is, I reckon. But I think that's where the disagreements are going to be. So let us know your thoughts on that. And Lallana as well. Is that a topic of discussion? Should we be worried about it? And what your thoughts on Lallana? Or should we just... I mean, I personally think we should keep him at all costs in our squad. But like my brother said, that he needs to think that what is the best for him as well. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. The subscribe button's there. Let's see you soon. Peace.